Today we're talking about what it looks like for and how much it costs to have a $400,000 house in 2025. So obviously this will be dated at some point. At some point the rates will drop and the payments will be better. But just to give you an idea of what it looks like today, let's say that you're not a first-time home buyer and you're a second-time home buyer and you're coming into the market and you're thinking $400,000. I need X. Well, let's define the X for us. You need 5% down. Okay, so 5% down on $400,000 is $20,000. Then on top of that, you need closing costs potentially. Closing costs on a $400,000 house, we want to be super conservative, probably about 3%. Okay. So now we're talking about an additional $12,000. 12,000 plus the 20, we're at 32. Potentially, depending on your strategy, you might want to pay discount points to get your rate lower and or have the seller pay for it. So here's kind of where we get in the strategy pieces. We want to talk to the seller or we want to talk to our agent and figure out what we can do on any particular house to get payments where we want. So in the worst case scenario, you're probably deciding to pay about 2% discount points. So we add up the 2% there on a $400,000 house is 8. The 8,000 plus the 12 for closing costs is 20. Now the 20, we're at 40. Now you might go, well, shoot, I only have 30. Guess what? We can come over here to the seller and say, seller, we'll pay your $400,000 price, but I need you to give us $10,000 in closing costs, which then would be taken off the 40. And now we're at 30. So that helps us a little bit with the cash to close. It gives us some flexibility. We can be a little bit more strategy driven. Maybe you don't pay any discount points and maybe the down payment is 5% and you have them pay for your closing costs. At that point, we're looking at just $20,000 out of pocket. So there can be a huge swing. As far as the monthly payment's concerned, let's call it a 6.75% rate. Principal and interest about $2,400. Depends on where you're at in town. If we wanted to be pretty darn conservative, if I was in different parts of the country, I might say, hey, PMI and taxes and insurance are X, and we're at, it's an extra $700. That doesn't really happen in Southeast and Eastern Tennessee. It's a little bit more like, let's call it 150 for the homeowner's insurance and 150 for the taxes, and maybe, depending on the credit score, another 100 for the mortgage insurance. So now we have 150 for the taxes, 150 for the homeowner's insurance, $100 for the mortgage insurance. We're at $400. Add the 400 to the 2,400. We're at a $2,800 a month payment. So every $10,000 you put down would end up saving you about $70 a month at that point. So hopefully this is helpful. Just give you an idea of what it looks like to buy a house at $400,000 in today's market.